Oh hey, didn't see you there. Today I'll be talking to you about two incubators, Paris Pioneers and Mucker Lab out of Santa Monica, California. Time for a little introduction to our team. Follow me. Bring me a dream. First we're going to start with Annalisa Cox. From San Jose, California, she's in charge of the good old SWOT analysis, and she does her work well and with a smile. Then tell him that he's lonesome. Next, we have Lizzie Noble from Scottsdale, Arizona, and she'll be talking to you about the marketing efforts of both incubators. The third member of our team is Bailey O'Carroll from San Marcos, California, and she wrote the pestle analysis for our two incubators. Let's go, Bailey. Next on our list, we have Frances Rorda. She's from Louisville, Kentucky, and she's doing all the little parts of the project that equal one big part. She's also our video editor and camera woman. Couldn't do without her. Mr. Sandman. And I'm Meg Parham, in charge of the 7 Ps and your tour guide for this presentation. Give him the word that...
Well, now you've met our team, it's time to meet our companies.
Lonesome nights are over, Sandman.
Our first incubator is called Paris Pioneers, and they're headquartered here in Paris. So they provide training, best practices advice, legal advice, and mentoring to companies through both incubator services and also co-working space here in Paris. They're founded by women, and they have a really strong focus on supporting a caring and motivational environment, along with giving informal networking opportunities to their clients. They were founded on March 8th, 2005, and they've worked with over 350 startups since, with their sustainability rate hovering around 85%. Also, companies that work with them are eligible for Paris Innovation Amorçage funding from the government. Our second incubator is headquartered in Santa Monica, California. It's called Mucker Lab, and it's unique because it defies incubator norms by offering really customized experiences to a very diminutive number of companies. So they'll traditionally work with less than 10 per year, and they'll work with them for as long as necessary to reach their goals. Because of this, their success rates and their satisfaction scores have gone really high, and they are actually the second highest ranked in the US because of that. Depending on the client, they'll either invest in new ventures at the pre-seed stage and take the role of first institutional capital, or they'll help businesses that are already in existence to revamp their strategies and increase their growth, or sometimes to create spin-off companies for them.
And now we'll transition to talking about the 7 Ps, or even the 4 Ps, and I'll take it from here. Hey, like I mentioned to you at the park, I'm going to be talking about the marketing strategies through the lens of the 4 Ps, or even the 7 Ps. So first, what are the 4 Ps? First, we have product. Second, we have price. Third, we have place. And fourth, we have promotion. Then lastly, we have the 3 Ps of service: people, process, and physical evidence, but I will not be talking to you about these. As far as product goes, Paris Pioneers and Mucker Lab offer pretty comparable services, except for the fact that Paris Pioneers offers co-working spaces. They both create tailored programs specific to what would benefit the new startup best. They also offer coaches and mentors and legal counseling. Mucker Lab, however, goes into a little more depth with their services. They offer intense supervision and assistance to make sure the companies have appropriate financing and effective strategies to fit the company's goals. They also invest between $21,000 and $150,000 in the company they are working with. As far as price goes, Paris Pioneers doesn't take any percentage of the profits of the startup. The only charge that they have is €300 per month for their co-working spaces. When talking about Mucker Lab, they ask for a 7 to 12% stake in equity. The exact percentage, however, depends on the startup. Place, you ask? I'll show you place. Paris Pioneers is located at 26 Rue de Chemin Vert in Paris, France, and Mucker Lab is located at 202 Bicknell Avenue in Santa Monica, California. Location is very important to Mucker Lab. They believe that Los Angeles is a great community and the surrounding area is particularly favorable for new companies. Paris Pioneers and Mucker Lab basically use the same kinds of social media in order to communicate to their viewers. However, Mucker Lab does not have an Instagram, and also posts way more infrequently than Paris Pioneers. So overall, the idea is that Paris Pioneers markets using social practices as their focus, whereas Mucker Lab uses exclusivity as their focus.
But who are these companies targeting? Let's ask Lizzie.
While Paris Pioneers and Mucker Lab are both incubators, they do have their similarities and differences. Paris Pioneers, in a sense, is almost like a membership. Clients can utilize its resources however much they want by attending workshops, summits, etc. Paris Pioneers also requires that the project is being spearheaded by a woman as the lead. This incubator is all about lady power, and it really shows. Mucker Lab, on the other hand, offers a 4-month to 1-year intensive workshop, so their target market are entrepreneurs as well, but ones who live or move to Los Angeles and truly immerse themselves into their project. These projects can also be at any stage, but Mucker Lab only works with 10 startup projects at a time. The authenticity makes working with them all more desirable and competitive. All in all, both work to bring forward innovative projects and inspire already passionate entrepreneurs.
We're going to be talking about their marketing efforts. So let's take it to Bailey and Annalisa.
So for the external audit for Paris Pioneers, we're going to start off with political, economic, and social. Obviously, it's based in Paris, France, so they need to make sure that they are compliant with the state of politics in France and specifically Paris. And then in the economy, just making sure that they are well aware if the economy's up or down. People are going to be a lot more willing to spend their money on risky investments when the economy's up. Social, the company is really for women and empowering women with all the movements and female activism that's been happening in the last 10 years. This is going to greatly help them in Paris and especially just throughout the world. And then technology is really everything today. It's changing faster than ever, and being in a place like Paris is going to help them because it's really a hub and things change quicker there than anywhere else. And then looking at the environment, people pay more attention to the environment and the impact that they are having on the environment. So just keeping this in mind is going to really help them to be successful, looking at what people pay attention to, and today they are paying attention to the environment. On the legal side of things, again, they're based in Paris, making sure that they pay attention to what laws are going on in Paris, and then just making sure that they're also compliant with health laws, equal rights and opportunities laws in France and throughout the world to give them a better chance at reaching further success outside of Paris and just outside of France.
Looking at the SWOT analysis for Paris Pioneers, its strengths include holding a strong value of innovation, gaining a high leverage and receiving female audiences, strong collaborative aspects, and having more than 80 employees. Weaknesses: lack of global locations and competition with more diverse incubators. Opportunities: creating more involvement in developing international locations, adapting a system that works with not only entrepreneur trainers but with data scientists as well. And threats include, due to its criteria of having a woman in the management team, this may cause many clients and teams to look elsewhere for a workspace. So with that, looking at the marketing efforts, it's targeting women entrepreneurs due to the lack of female opportunity and acknowledgement in this startup field. This marketing effort fits the needs of female customers who would most likely choose Paris Pioneers for its female opportunities, as it puts a strong woman empowerment in its marketing motives. Looking at the SWOT analysis for Mucker Lab, its strengths include ranked the number 2 accelerator in the country, strong unique hands-on approach to entrepreneurs, and has funded every Mucker Lab startup to date. Weaknesses: competition in the Silicon Valley, competition due to the lack of support from already established businesses, and lack of potential capital in reaching out to other markets. Opportunities: create more partnerships, especially those in the Silicon Valley, market Mucker Lab internationally, and target the entertainment industry that's in Los Angeles. Threats: lack of international startups, and due to funding only a small amount of startups, this puts financial risk for their reliance. So with that, their marketing efforts are: it strongly promotes its high ranking in the US and its strategies on keying in only 10 startups a year that other incubators don't do. Mucker Lab creates a marketing target with its high credibility and history of success. Thus, it markets towards entrepreneurs who are looking for an incubator that will give its full committed attention in funding the top startups in Los Angeles.
I bet you're wondering, which company's better? Let's talk it out. So, in closing, we did pick 2 very different incubators, and so the 2 of them would be good for businesses with different goals. So Paris Pioneers would be best for a very new up-and-coming business with a really socially conscious focus, where Mucker Lab would be best for an established business that still has a lot of capital so they can pay for their services, who's really trying to get out there in the world and work on new strategies. So neither one is better because they're both good in their own ways.